Welcome everyone, I'm the Depressed DR, and this is Inscription. So this game, I guess the description is essentially it's a card game, though I know it's a bit more than that. It's made by the same people that did Pony Island, I think it's called, which I saw an entire Let's Play of, so I kind of know that this developer has had its fair share of making games that are a bit more than it seems. I have a little bit of the beginning spoiled for me because I did watch a video by Jacksepticeye as well as a little bit by Markiplier. I didn't watch too much, one because I didn't want to get spoiled, and two, watching them try to figure out a card game was actually infuriating. So with that being said, I know I don't get very many viewers, but despite that, I seem to still get viewers that will want to spoil things for me, even when I tell them not to. So I'll just say right here, please don't spoil anything. I record this in bulk usually if it's a game I like, so any information you give me is going to be out of date for me and won't help me. If it's something I need for progression or whatever, if I need to look it up, I can look it up on my own. I will rather figure this out on my own. And if this does become a problem, I will consider turning off comments if I can figure out how to do it. So just letting you know, don't ruin this for the other 3 viewers I got. Anyway, let's dive right in.
Okay, time to figure out what's on this thing.
Alright. I'm just going to make sure my settings are still the same. Okay. So hopefully this is still good for everyone. It seems like the very beginning of the title screen did not use my volume settings. So I apologize if it was a little loud. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this. So there's a new game, which apparently does not agree with me. So we're going to go ahead and click continue and dive right in. Actually, before we do that, what do we got for credits? Okay, I was just curious. Another challenger. It has been ages. Perhaps you have forgotten how this game is played. Allow me to remind you. Play the scroll card. So a few things to note right off the bat is this card's moving. Anyway, let's play the scroll card. We can't play anything else anyway. You are lacking sacrifices for that creature. You are lacking sacrifices for that stoat. I didn't see the rest of it, I apologize. Does right click work? Escape? Doesn't let me cancel. There's probably a way to cancel, but I don't know how. Oh, there we go. Pressing the S key apparently did that. Can't really make out everything about this guy's face. I can see that he does have a face at least. Anyway, what was he saying? You can't play that presently, but your squirrel is free. No, but you can play your squirrel. Okay. So, the only things that are highlighting are the bottom 4, so we'll place it on the bottom 4. Now play your stoat. So okay, now it's letting me know I can go back to my hand with this. Alright. Stoats cost 1 blood. Sacrifices must be made. Sacrifice squirrel for stoat. An honorable death. Play the stoat. Wolves require 2 sacrifices. You don't have enough. Ring the bell to end your turn and commence combat. Your stoat stands unopposed. The number on the bottom left is its attack power, 1. Your stoat dealt me 1 damage. I added it to the scale. You win if you tip my side all the way down. Like this. My turn. Your stoat stands in the way of my coyote. My coyote dealt 2 damage to your stoat. That means your stoat's health is 2 less. If a creature's health reaches 0, it dies. It's your turn again. You may draw from your deck, or you may draw a squirrel. So one thing to know is I only have 1 card in the deck. But seemingly a rather high supply of squirrels. Let's grab a squirrel. How dull. Alright, so I can't play the wolf because it requires 2 sacrifices. So I'm going to go ahead and play the squirrel. And if I want to, I could sacrifice both stoat and squirrel to get the wolf. Now one thing that is to note, as far as attacking is concerned, is it's completely one-sided. The coyote attacked, or I attacked the whoever this guy is. And then when the coyote spawned, it attacked the stoat, but the stoat did not counterattack. So it's not like in most card games where both sides attack at the same time. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and pass turn, because this, while this thing definitely has more attack power, the attack's one-sided, so I should be able to kill this coyote without needing the wolf here. Also, using the scroll wheel seems to also do the similar things you can do here. Anyway, so there you go, one-sided. You know you can play more than 1 card. Man, because you're learning, I will pass. So sometimes it lets me, actually cycle the text, but apparently he's talking a bit faster than I want him to. In fact, let's fix that. I'll go back to the default, just to keep that annoyance. So it's letting me know that I could have summoned the wolf if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. But since he passed, it's now my turn again. Again, the choice, a random card from your deck, or the certainty of a squirrel. I don't really need anything from my deck, so I'll just draw a squirrel. And then I'm going to play that squirrel. And then I will play the wolf. Alright. And with that, I now have 4 attack on my side, so this should pretty... 4 damage dealt, 4 weights on the scale. You've won this match. Okay, so what's kind of interesting is that there's not really health in this game, it's just a scale. So you can actually kind of go back and forth a bit in this. Now, it looks like if you have an advantage of about 5 damage, because I did 1 earlier and then I did 4. So if we get a 5 damage advantage or 5 damage disadvantage, that's going to end the match. They won't all be so easy. Let me recall your story. Oh yes. You were lost deep in the forest. A single path revealed itself. Two denizens of the forest approached you tentatively. The caustic adder, damage from its poison bite, is always lethal. The undying cat, sacrificing the poor beast, does not kill it. Only one may grace your paltry deck. I will take the cat. The adder's kind of nice, but it requires 2 sacrifices just to get out. With the cat, I can guarantee I can have a sacrifice every round. Another creature joins your caravan. Some of the creatures of the forest seemed willing to follow you. You came across an abandoned sack. You found a squirrel in a bottle break in case of emergency. And have a second. Another useful implement, it allows you to tip the scales with it. 3 is as much as you can carry. You were ambushed while crossing some rough terrain. didn't sacrifice me. How kind. Maybe. You'll help me. Play along for now. Take your turn. You may see how my move. You may now see my moves ahead of time. Yeah, that's one thing to note. So what's going to spawn right now is this wolf cub. If I right-click it, behold the rulebook. Fledgling. A card bearing this sigil will grow into a more powerful form after one turn on the board. So unfortunately, I don't have a way of stopping this because there's a boulder on my side. There's also stumps on that side as well. So, right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and, yeah. We're going to go ahead and play the squirrel card. Get things started with that. Doesn't really matter. Need I remind you, your items may help. I'm well aware. And I'm going to go ahead and play the cat. We'll sacrifice the squirrel for the cat, which will put that there. And then what I can do is I can play the stoat off of this. Trying to think how I want to do it. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice the cat, which doesn't die because that's the cat's ability. I'm going to play the stoat on this side because it's a free hit. Here we go. Alright, and that's all I can do this turn. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 damage. Mind the ambitious wolf cub, it ages swiftly. So I did 1 damage to that boulder. I can either get a squirrel or I can get a card. I'm going to go ahead and get a card. Okay, got ourselves our wolf card. At this point there is... I got the river snapper. Can I actually look at the card? There we go. So the river snapper, not much attack, but it has tons of HP, and then the wolf, of course, is my offensive powerhouse. For right now, I'm going to pass turn. Do another damage. It's going to transform into a wolf. The airborne bat flies over creatures that attack directly. So I take 2 damage, and that kind of bounces the scales back. Ha! My bat flew right over your stoat. Okay. At this point, I will get a... We'll grab ourselves a squirrel. I want to go ahead and summon said squirrel. Place it down here. And then I'm going to go ahead and summon the river snapper. Actually... yeah, we'll summon the river snapper. Get that going. River snapper demands 2 sacrifices. I'll put that right there. Okay. Now I should be able to attack the bat with the stoat. There you go. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and draw another squirrel. Play said squirrel. Play said wolf. And that'll be it. Okay, that evens the scales. We'll go ahead and draw our other wolf. So our deck consists of a cat, wolf, or cat, 2 wolves, a river snapper, and a stoat. Also, we have these scroll cards, scroll bottles that we can get an immediate squirrel if we need it. And I don't know what this thing is for. Alright. I know what it is for, but I'm not going to tell you. There we go. You prevailed and trekked onwards past the now bloody terrain. Alright. So again, the young wolf cub. It grows into a wolf after a single turn. And then we got the meek sparrow, an inexpensive if feeble flying creature. Alright. I kind of want the sparrow. Wolf cub is nice, because it's essentially can get you a wolf for 1 sacrifice if you're willing to wait. But Flying means I can fly over things like boulders and trees if we happen to deal with that terrain in the future. So I'll grab Sparrow. Alright. You stumbled into some strange stones in the mist. You were compelled to choose a worthy sacrifice, one that will be lost forever. So, my only choices are Cat and Sparrow. But apparently the others are not worthy to be sacrificed. I'm gonna pick Cat. I already know what this thing does, so I'll go ahead and pick Cat. And then you look upon your menagerie and selected a healthy host. And the stoat's talking to us, by the way. Pick me! So, probably the reason why these couldn't be picked for sacrifice is because they don't actually have an ability. So we can make... I'm gonna go ahead and make our stoat immortal. That'll actually help out quite a bit, because that means we can essentially get essentially the equivalent of a cat and a stoat at the same time. What an honor. A ghastly spectacle, but the soul of the cat now lives in the stoat. Alright. Behold my totem. Inscribes my canine cards with the airborne sigil. Alright. Let's take a look at the board. So we got a coyote, which now has flying, and then we got a bat to also deal with. So what's going to end up happening, if we were to summon something down here in front of these, we would attack the player because these are not on the board yet. They'll come on the board and then attack back. Oh my god, wow, I don't even have the stoat. That's rough. Have you forgotten the items I gave you? Disc, disc. That is tempting. They have flying anyway. I think I might pop a bottle at this point. If I were to let things go as is, I could potentially end up losing pretty quickly. So right now our situation, our deck has two cards in it. It's a wolf and a stoat. I could definitely turn this around if I can get the stoat. But if I don't, I'm gonna be in some trouble. I mean, either way, I'm gonna be in some trouble anyway. So you know what? We'll just play the squirrel. And we'll put it down down here. And then we'll pass turn and see what happens. I might end up losing if I play like this, but we'll see. Like I said, if he does, well, I have two items here. If I need to, I can get a bunch of squirrels out and just counter that way. Also, the squirrels themselves have stats, but obviously the flying's a problem. Alright, yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan. Let's, they're gonna come in, they're gonna hit us for 4. My totem has granted my coyote the power of flight. Alright, so pretty much one more damage is gonna kill me. He's completely insane. You see that? Right? No care for the rules? Pathetic, really. Enough. Only keeps me around to watch me suffer. Alright. Okay, so we can turn this around now. So what we're going to do here is we need a sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice this for that. Back on the board. And then we're going to use this. You're immortal, so I can do that. And that should be enough to kill both of them. And keep me alive. Spare me around. Wait. Why didn't I kill? Did I misread that? I thought it had 1 health. Oh well, that was my mistake. You've lost. Using this as a learning opportunity may be the only way to mitigate my disappointment. Get up. Get up from the table. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay, I recognize the mistake I made. It wasn't the fact that the bat only had 1 HP, but this game is not like Magic the Gathering, where you use flying to attack flying or whatever. Essentially, since the Sparrow had flight, it just bypassed the bat entirely. Which unfortunately, 1 damage is not enough to keep me alive. So yeah, I needed to actually summon something that was on the ground. So I had no choice but to pop a squirrel if I wanted to actually survive that. Oh well, that was my mistake. Fetch me the candlestick from atop the barrel beside the door. Alright, and so that's just letting us know now we can actually get up. We can click on things. There's apparently nothing but darkness behind us. Got a clock here. Yeah, there's too many combinations for me to brute force this, at least not within a time frame. Because there's a second, minute, and hour hand here, and there's essentially 12. So 12 times, essentially 12 times 12 times 12, or 12 cubed. So a little bit too much. All right. What's up? All right. Can't do anything with that. Spin. Huh. Okay. So that's the candle I think he was talking about. Locked. Can't do anything with that. Okay. Break it here. Can't do anything with that. There's the pieces from before. Combination, this one has 100 different combinations. There's also a hand holding it shut. So yeah, cycling through all this would be essentially 10, 100,000 different combinations. Kind of clicking all over the place to see if there's anything of note. Alright. Nothing there. Oh, do I give it to you? Ah. So I can put it here. Now sit back down. Very well. Let me explain something to you. This was one of the 2 mistakes you can make here. If you make another, I must sacrifice you. Now, where were we? Alright. So yeah, my bad for messing up there. The proud wolf, a vicious contender. The flighty elk, it moves after attacking. And a cat. Why does this thing have a... this thing had a mark? Is that a tooth? What is that? So, wolf of course has highest attack power. Elk can at least shift over. I don't know. I don't really know how the shifting over works. And then of course we can get more immortals, which would make sacrificing a lot easier. Of course, that's only useful if you can keep it alive long enough. Then again, having another card that can... so I don't get in a situation where I literally can't do anything like before, would be pretty helpful. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab a cat. Alright, so I have an option. I can either go to the campfire, or I can go to there. So we already know that this is a upgrade station thing. There's not really... the only thing I could pass on is the cat ability. And potentially the, I could pass on the cat ability or the flight that I have on the Sparrow. So let's go here. You came across a small group of survivors. Faces shrunken from starvation, they huddled around a campfire. They looked upon your group of creatures and beckoned. Come, warm one of your creatures by the fire, one said. Warm it by the fire, that will enhance its power, said another. You notice one of the survivors wiping drool from their mouth. So with this, he's going, So this is from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be upgrading attack from the symbol that's there. So, we could keep upgrading the stoat. I kind of like upgrading the stoat. We can also make it so our cat actually has an attack power. Let's do stoat. The fire warmed the poor stoat, enhancing its power. One of the survivors reached towards it. Another gnashed their teeth. Without a word, he pulled the stoat away from the fire and left. Alright. There's a way out, for both of us. It's somewhere in this foul cabin. Be silent or I'll tear you to shreds. Alright. So our opponent's going to open with a grizzly, which has 4 attack power and 6 health. Mighty Leap, a card bearing the sigil will block an opposing creature bearing the... Okay, so this is just this tree that can block anything. Alright, so our big issue right now is the bear. That bear does 4 damage. And I don't really have a good solution for it. Alright, so we're going to play that squirrel. We're going to place it over here. And then we're going to summon the stoat. Put it over here. This spot? You sure? Yes. I'm actually going to go ahead and use a squirrel. Will that actually work? It's 5 damage. If I do 5 damage, this ends the combat. You can't play that. Oh, right. I need to play the squirrel. And then I can play a wolf. And then place you there. There you go. Battle over. Okay. So there's this thing up there. We can go there, there, there. That worked better than I thought it would. Wolf again, sparrow, elk. So we've already seen the strongest, which is the bear. rather just have another wolf at this point. Though a sparrow wouldn't be bad either. Oh, I think the mushroom thing represents that it's a card I already have. Alright, same thing as before. There's room for a creature on the fire, one said. The warmth will enhance its power. Alright. No way. Couldn't I up your power again? What happens if I do? As one of the survivors began pulling a knife from their pocket, you withdrew. The trees seemed to close in around you as a chill mist descended. In the distance you can hear the clinking of metal on stone. A hobbled figure stood in your path. Yeehaw! 'Twas the prospector! Alright, so our opponent's gonna be going Coyote and Pack Mule. Spread at the end of your brand, this will move in the direction described. Okay. So it just soaks heads. Okay. We're gonna play the swirl card. Get this up and running. So this put you there, because this thing doesn't actually attack you. Alright, and then I can play the sparrow. And then that should be it. Okay. So, 2 wolves, a snapper. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and draw a squirrel. That'll at least get us. Do I play? Let's draw a card and see what happens. He's doing the prospector again. Easy, boss. The mule's key. Yeah, it's not going left. Alright, so with the stoat, I can sacrifice you safely, put you down. Okay. And that should be it. I could sacrifice. I could get rid of the sparrow and get the wolf out, but I'm gonna wait. Okay, adder's coming. Okay, it's thankfully being blocked by the mule. Alright, so that's gonna transform eventually. Currently, go ahead and get River Snapper out. Yeah, I don't know what the order is that this is going to resolve in, is the problem. One way to find out. Okay, so it blocked the adder. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna hit for 4 damage. Because that thing doesn't block. I hope you didn't think it would be that easy. There's gold in them cards. Gold! I've struck gold! Bloodhound. When an opposing creature is placed opposite to an empty space, a card bearing the sigil will move to that empty space. Alright, so I'm actually in some trouble. One is... I mean, I should be able to sacrifice these things. So yeah, we'll... Sprawl our remaining cards. Oh, I can't. Okay, well, I'm in trouble then. I'm gonna have to use a squirrel then. Get him! Alright, so we need a squirrel. Place you down. So I can't sacrifice the... So we need to do this. And then I could do... Could do Wolfie there. Okay, he's gonna get an adder. Okay. Get ourselves another squirrel. Which unfortunately I can't do much with. But I can at least block. Okay. And the mule stopped the adder. What did I just get? Dagnabbit, my mule! So that's what it meant. Okay, so adders instantly kill anything that touches it. Skunk. The creature opposing a card bearing the sigil loses 1 power. Okay, and then we have Porcupine. Once a card bearing the sigil is struck, the striker is then dealt a single damage point. Alright. So I do have... So I can start debuffing that if I need to. Okay, so I have a spare squirrel, which is good. Okay, so yeah, squirrel. Squirrel. And we'll go wolf. There. And that'll be it. Okay. Draw that. You can at least block for now. Actually, you can hold on to that. Because this should make us win. Allow me to light your candles once more. I won't be killing you quite yet. Alright, achievement unlocked, Minder's Bane. You're the first in a while to overcome a boss. As a reward, you are granted an opportunity to select a rare card. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'll continue in just a bit. So I'm the Depressed Hero. This was Inscription. I'll see you guys in a bit.